Welcome back, know-it-alls, and thanks for listening to the show. Your support is awesome. Please continue to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Remember to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode when it gets released. You can find us on all social media platforms under the name Answers for Everything Podcast. We should be there. If we are not, let us know and we'll make it right.
Yeah, I had to put a flash drive in and transfer some files. So,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
I
man.
was just doing a power dinner real quick since I hadn't ate dinner yet.
Yeah, I
So-
got to do dinner after we record.
Okay. Well, then we won't keep this episode going forever, but
I'm thinking 38 and a half minutes.
I can do that.
Yeah, 30,
Yeah.
38 and a half. I mean, with
Yeah.
editing, it might go down a little bit lower. So let's
Yeah.
aim for 39.
Yeah.
I'm just editing all the ums and the yas and the into the microphones,
Uh,
all the farting.
do I still take a breath in before I talk? Didn't you tell me I did that at one time?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Hmm.
breathing in. I know what it looks like when the sound waves, so I can just look at it and just automatically delete it out. So it's pretty sweet.
You know what it probably is? Is I probably tend to hold my breath a little bit longer because I will kind of sometimes forget to breathe.
That's not a good thing. I was hoping for
I
you
mean-
to say, well, I want to be like Batman when I grow up, and he can hold 4 minutes of air in his lungs. So I'm just going to keep practicing that because one day I'm going to be Batman.
I just like to have Batman's money. That's it. What's my superpower? I'm rich.
Yeah, I mean, Batman's money, Batman's body, Batman's looks, Batman's
Just-
fighting skills.
Can
I mean-
you imagine him in the bedroom with the woman? Is conditioning that he's in, at least a mortal woman. I'm not sure how he can handle Diana, but I'm sure he tried.
I mean, I'm not picturing him in bed with a woman. I'm picturing myself in bed with Bruce Wayne.
You know, I was thinking of taking a whole leap from Batman, but I was thinking of our conversation about Deadpool and about him being pegged in the movie.
Well,
It's
it's
not-
International Women's Day.
Well, it is, but you know, it's not fair because he basically heals instantaneously.
Yeah, well, yeah,
That's not. You can just run a knife in him. Oh,
it's true.
You know,
but he still
I
feels
mean-
pain. It's like Wolverine, right? Wolverine,
Yeah.
every time his claws come out, it fucking hurts, and he
Yeah.
bleeds, but it heals instantly.
right.
But he still does
it's-
it, even though it hurts every single time.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
heals. The pain
Yeah.
is there.
Think about that time when he got ripped in half by the Hulk.
Or when Magneto ripped all the metal off of his bones.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah. That probably didn't feel too whippy.
Yeah, he was a pool of goo, but then he was just the bone skeleton. He still had his healing
Yeah.
powers and still had his claws, but he just
Yeah.
wasn't indestructible with his bones.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, moving back on because we're gonna get sucked back into a superhero loop. So, what's going on with you, Clay? What do we got? What do we got to talk about today? We're gonna talk about some weird news.
yeah, we got some weird news, and I decided to go back. So I'm not doing weird news of like today or weird news of 2 days ago. I went back, like I told you before. Like when I look on Urban Dictionary, I just look around my room and I see something that I put it into Urban Dictionary just to see if it's something in there. When I'm doing weird news, I just type weird news Denver 2015 just to randomly find weird shit that probably wasn't national news or international news, just something from a small little newspaper, a small little column. And I found some cool shit. I found a Florida one and a Denmark one.
I was almost gonna say, please don't choose Florida because everything that happens in Florida is weird. It's like a meme. But since
that's
you
what-
did,
That's
yeah.
one of the Googles that came up. It was like, why is there so much weird shit happening in Florida? So it's kind of funny because, I'm going to do the Florida one last. Do you have one story or two stories?
I have two.
Okay. So then I guess we can alternate instead of doing like a sandwich.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, we'll save the sandwich for when we're together in person.
Yeah, with just us in the middle.
That's right.
We're the bread and the meat.
What goes with peanut butter? Peanut butter and ladies. All
Oh
right.
man, I had somebody lick peanut butter off my wang, but all they had was crunchy peanut butter in the fridge. So I was like, don't keep it in the fridge. It's not runny, right? But
Right.
he kept it in the fridge. But it was awesome to, have it on my wang and have it licked off. But then I'm hearing her crunch it as she's chewing it. I was like, that's less appealing than just like slurping down the peanut butter. But
Yeah.
then the next time I bought Pop Rocks and I got her to try that. So it's all crackly and stuff. It doesn't do too much. Pop Rocks, there's a little bit of fizz in your mouth, but the Pop Rocks pop when you bite down on them. So I didn't really want her
Yeah.
biting down with my wang in her mouth. So the
Yeah.
Pop Rocks weren't as good. We did ice cubes, but yeah, the crunchy peanut butter it was just odd to me. Plus, it was like really
Yeah.
hard, right? Because it wasn't in the cupboard; it was in the fridge.
Yeah, that's pretty odd. You should try something with mint in it to kind of give you like that Newport kind of feel, kind of like you just smoke, like your penis just smoked the Newport, old
So
mint,
just
cool mint.
give a girl a box of After 8 mints or like some
Yeah.
lifesavers and be like, here
Yeah.
you go. Do you still have certs? Or do you know what certs are? Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, I remember certs. I don't know if they're still around anymore.
I mean,
I don't think I've seen them.
No, I spent a lot of time in candy aisles and stuff, and I haven't seen certs forever.
No, I'll have to Google that. I think they might be all gone.
Hmm.
So,
Well,
all right.
anyway, back to weird stories that
Yes.
aren't involving peanut butter on my wang.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one. So a Denmark man carrying 1,000 joints, so 1,000 weed cigarettes in his pockets, gets busted for a really stupid mistake. Can you guess what it was? How did this Danish man get busted with 1,000 joints in his pockets?
He was carrying them like he had them in a bandolier across his chest. He could just whip one out at any time.
That's a very good guess. Unfortunately, it is not the correct answer.
Like the Snoop Dogg 3000. It's got 3,000 joints on it.
So we've got the man who was in Copenhagen's alternative enclave of Christiania, got into a police car after mistaking it for a taxi cab.
Oh, this taxi's got lights on the top.
Well, sometimes from a distance you can't tell because the lights aren't big round ones like from the 70s anymore, right? They're little tiny, tiny rectangle. So it could look like a taxi sign from the side and you have no idea. Plus, okay, so the following is what the police said about the situation. Last night, a cannabis dealer from Christiania who wanted to get home quickly got into what he thought was a taxi. He received a big surprise when he realized it was actually a police car and he was sitting in the front seat. Their cars are white with yellow and blue designs on them. The lights are square on the top, which looks like a taxi logo. So it actually looks very similar to a cab company and not a police car. He was then searched by police who found him to be carrying 1,000 joints in his pockets. The man may face criminal charges after such an avoidable yet honest mistake.
Wow. That is crazy.
May face criminal charges. I don't know what the laws or the rules are. This is from 2017. So I don't know what the laws were back in Denmark during the time, but I'm pretty sure he could just say it's for personal use because it's pre-rolled for himself. He's not selling it in baggies. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. And also, as a cop, wouldn't you just fucking feel bad for him?
Yeah, I would. I was Googling Copenhagen police force car images.
Yeah.
And they do look kind of like a taxi, a little bit.
So yeah, let's say it's parked in like in front of your street. You call the cab. You just go down there. And there's this thing parked in front of your house, and you just hop into it. And you're like, "Fuck!" You walk in, you see all the computer gear and shit in the front. You're like, "This is a weird taxi." Because you would still see like the plastic in between the front and the back, and he probably couldn't open the door, so he probably just opened the front door. Because the back ones, I don't think you'd be able to open unless the cops open them.
Well, yeah, so they'd be able to open it from the outside, but you'd think they'd be locked. But here's the thing: he just may have been under the influence.
Which would just prove his point of it being personal use.
That's true. I always carry 1,000 joints on me.
Well, you never know when you need 1,000 joints.
I just be like, joint man.
I don't smoke weed. Is 1,000 a lot? I'm not sure.
I think it would be more than enough for the rest of my life, and then probably another lifetime, or more for me.
Do you think they were really, really tiny? or he had like a backpack just fucking full of pre-rolled joints.
Oh,
Because
I
there's
bet
no way
there.
1,000 to fit in your pocket. Fuck that.
No, he had to have a backpack or something.
Or,
Yeah,
or some cool cargo pants.
yeah,
Lots of cargo pants.
yeah. I think they're probably big old fat ones like a stogie. They're just huge, huge. 1,000 huge. Like, how much is in that joint? Oh, that's a quarter
Yeah.
ounce by itself.
Usually you're getting
Like $1 million a pot on him.
you're getting like 4 pinner joints out of an eighth or out of a gram, and he's got 1,000 regular size fucking or jumbo size stogies.
Yeah, yeah,
Be awesome.
yeah. That's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you don't really hear too many bad things happen about it. They didn't really finalize what happened after he got busted with it, but I think they probably felt sorry for the dumbass.
Well, yeah, you'd almost have to. You're like, wow, you are colossally an idiot.
Yeah. So he's not the big drug dealer that they have to worry about. If he's selling it by the joint, he is the bottom of the bottom of the bottom drug dealer.
Yes, yes.
And
But he's not. I mean, he's not totally bottom. I mean, he managed to have 1,000 joints on him. So
true, but he's selling individual joints to people instead of like pounds, ounces, stuff like that. Like the cops aren't going to be interested in joint man. They're going to be interested in the guy selling pounds.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, it'd be kind of like, you could sell your Joes and lots of 20 or individually. You'd make more selling them individually, maybe. But, I mean, it's a lot more work. And it's a lot more work for him. I mean, going around just trying to peddle a couple of joints to various people. Hey, you want to buy 5? I got 1,000. Hey.
Well, you don't tell me you have 1,000 because then you're going to have none and no money.
Yeah, right.
So that's my weed dealer from Denmark, maybe? Denmark. My weed dealer from Denmark.
Okay. Well, I've got a story.
Ooh.
And this also coincidentally involves drugs.
That's a little weird.
It involves former drug kingpin Pablo Escobar and his hippos. Now,
okay.
Have you heard about his hippos?
Yeah. He had he was importing fucking animals for a little zoo kind of thing he wanted on his property.
That is correct. He had his own animals in the 1980s, and he'd brought in several that were on his estate. And after he got arrested, they escaped and got out to the rivers. And, there's a few rivers in Colombia,
yeah,
plenty of places, and they are in many ways, actually, even though they're not really a predator per much, they're kind of an apex kind of predator. There's not much that can hurt a hippo. Their skin's really tough.
No, yeah, I was looking at the amount of pounds per square inch their jaws have. Like,
oh yeah,
more people die in Africa from hippos than fucking tigers or lions or snakes
or crocodiles.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So hippos are pretty badass, and they move really fast in the water. I watched one of them chase a boat once, and I mean that boat had to put the hammer down because that hippo was
one bite
fast.
From that 3-foot wide mouth, your boat's capsized.
Exactly. So I mean, even though they're not a predator animal per se, because they're not out there hunting meat, although I think they do eat meat sometimes. I think they might, but they mostly are herbivores. Anyway, they escaped. Currently, there's more than 100 of them, and it's gotten to the point where it's so bad that the government has decided that they need to control the population because at the rate that they're growing, they have about 100 or so now. They project it might be up to almost 1,000 of them in the next 10 years if they don't do something about the hippo situation. So they are going to surgically sterilize these things, which means some lucky bastards in this world have to go out and sterilize, trank, and drag a hippo in.
Fuck me.
Okay. Yeah. Not the job. I'm thinking that maybe a few people might die in this project. That's all I'm thinking. Possibly.
You would think that they would just do like tags for hunting. They would call there's known people. I mean, I'm not in the circle, so I couldn't name any names, but there's got to be known hunters in the world. People that hunt the weird of the weird. Right. They're like, hey, hippo license, $5,000.
Well, I guess they don't want to kill them. I guess they want to be more humane. This is 2023. If it's the 70s, I'd just be like, yeah, just go out there and smoke them. Who's got barbecued hippo down for the luau this weekend?
How many did Pablo Escobar have in the 80s?
Not a lot. He only had a handful.
So let's say he had what, 9?
Who knows?
And in 40 years, there's 100. You could kill it down to 10, and you're still gonna Wait, how does hippo meat taste? Any idea?
I don't know. I had frog legs today for the first
Hmm.
time.
How was that?
Really tasty. I went back and got a couple more. So yeah, I dropped $30 on a buffet today.
For frog legs only?
No, for other stuff. But it
Oh.
was it was an expensive ass buffet. Anyway, back to the story. So, they have been declared an invasive species, and there's no natural predators in Colombia. Yeah, you think there's no real large mammals in North America. They pretty much they all died
Grizzly
off.
bear, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's about it. That is, well, I think, what is it? Is it which one's worse, the
Or the
grizzly bear
polar
or the
bear.
polar bear? Yeah,
Polar bear.
those are kind of like the apex predators of the Americas, because all the other large animals have all been killed off over time.
And women.
Yeah, well, yeah, they just kill you mentally. Well, actually, they've started moving to actually killing people physically now too. So
Financially and
yeah, well,
mentally.
I mean, they do strangle your soul slowly as they suck it out of your body. But
Any,
other than that,
anyway,
moving back to this.
that's another episode.
So, as I said, this probably is an interesting job. The article goes on to say that sterilization takes time because spotting and capturing the territorial, aggressive 3-ton animals is complicated. No shit. Plus, it rains a lot, and that makes things even more difficult. There's so much grass down there, they have an oversupply of food, so it's hard to bait them because, hey, we got
Food's
oh,
everywhere.
hey, oh, great. Oh, yeah, I got some. I'm good. I'm good, Bob.
What they need is they need people in boats to go down the rivers and get those fuckers to chase them.
Yeah. Okay, I guess there's 169 hippos now.
Still a lot.
Yeah. Here's the fun part. Each sterilization costs about $9,800 to do. And that's not even probably the cost of like capturing them. And they got to worry about the animals, reacting to the anesthesia. Yeah. There's potential risk, including allergic reactions to anesthesia or death, along with dangers for the animal health personnel involved. Again, no shit. 3-ton animal, aggressive and territorial. That to me spells go the other direction.
Yeah. Get a helicopter and a bunch of snipers and
Like, have you ever seen them hunting hogs down in Texas? You ever seen those videos of people hunting? Oh my God, you got to Google this stuff. I mean, these people take out like trucks late at night with spotlights and like M60s on them and just go out hog hunting. They're just out there. I mean, holy crap, it's crazy stuff. But anyway, that's my weird story. It's about how much fun it probably is going to be for some poor bastard whose job is leading the job to go tag a hippo, knock him out, and drag him back to get his nuts clipped.
Yeah,
so,
no thanks. I'm pretty sure you can name your price.
Yeah.
Right, you're the contractor. And they're just like, so what's it gonna take? You're like, per hippo, 30 grand.
Exactly. Now imagine if there was somebody that could speak hippos out there telling them, Fred, they're gonna cut your balls. What?
You said chemical castration.
I don't know how they're doing it. It didn't say. It just said the sterilization process. So
okay.
So anyway, that's my first weird story.
Strangely enough, both drug-ish related.
Yeah. My second one's not. So
okay. So my second one is a typical Floridian story.
And it doesn't involve drugs. That is actually surprising.
It doesn't involve drugs, but it does involve what I think would be a grand adventure if I was this child. A grand adventure.
Oh, a grand adventure. I prefer non-grand adventures.
Mm-hmm. So we've got Tampa police arrested a 32-year-old high school math teacher on child neglect charges for letting a 14-year-old boy drive while she was drinking.
That's called 1985, but okay.
Here, Charlie Ray, hold my beer while he pees out the window. That kind of thing.
Yeah, so, exactly.
According to police, Tara Virgin, which is her name, said she had 5 drinks and was too drunk to drive when she and the 14-year-old were pulled over near the intersection of Kennedy Boulevard and Westland Avenue around 11:15 on Sunday night. The police say that there was an open beer in the cup holder. According to them, the teen is her boyfriend's son. She told officers she wanted him to drive her to the Waffle House, which I get. Waffle House is delicious.
Yes.
So, Virgin has been a math teacher at Freedom High School for 1 week, according to Hillsborough County School District spokesperson. Virgin worked at Ben Hill Middle School previously, and she's been employed by the district since 2013. She's been asked to meet with the district's Office of Professional Standards. So I don't know what to unpack there. First of all, when I read it, I was like, why is a math teacher hanging out with a 14-year-old? Like, why at 11 o'clock at night? But then the next paragraph was that it's her boyfriend's son.
Right.
I mean, number one, she's responsible, I think, with not wanting to drive drunk. But then I don't know what the legal driving age is in.
Not 14.
Not 14? Where was
probably,
it? Oh,
probably 16.
Okay.
Although here in Kansas, because of farmers, you can get a permit even as low as the age of 14 in Kansas, because they would be driving like big tractors and combines and stuff if they're helping with the farming. So
here in Alberta,
side note, you
can get your learners at 14.
Right.
Whereas in BC, I had to wait till I was 16 to get my learners.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you get your license at 16 in Alberta. But yeah, the Waffle House, good choice. Like, you're a Waffle House fan?
I am a Waffle House fan. It's even more fun when the W is burned out and it's an awful house, you know?
Ooh, absolutely. Yeah, those little thin, crispy waffles I think are fucking great. And then the little tiny potatoes, and you can get like the onions and the green peppers or whatever on it, or gravy or cheese. But yeah, it's fucking great. Great choice. Good job, Tara Virgin. Way to go.
Yeah.
However, your boyfriend might have a thing or two to say. I mean, it's Florida, so the boyfriend probably is all for it.
He's probably like, hey, good driver.
Here, take my keys, right?
Yeah.
My kid's a great driver. But my second thought was that the kid was sleeping with the teacher, which I know we talked recently about those two smoking hotties having 9-hour threesomes with a high school kid, and the fucking dumbass told people.
Well, in his defense, I would have told people too, like a year later after I'd had several of them.
Yeah. I don't want to have one 9-hour threesome with two hot teachers. I want that gravy train to keep on running.
Gravy.
Literal gravy.
Yes.
So that's my Tampa story, and that is my Denmark story.
Well, interestingly enough, I mean, that is definitely a weird news. Unusual news. Not that weird. I mean, I almost feel like that's kind of normal. I mean, you know.
Well, I don't know. I guess, when we're talking weird news, it's about
it's unusual.
Rights, people watching people have sex with farm animals and just weird fucking shit. So this is on the tamer side.
I mean, you know what I call that? Thursday night.
Oh, see, you're living the dream, my friend. Living the dream.
I mean, I'm in the Midwest, right? So, okay. Well, interestingly enough, you could kind of, in some ways, tie this to that. Not really, since we first thought it was maybe somebody having sex. So, in this case, this involves sex. Like again, a topic we've covered before. So, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure here recently we had a conversation about a man with two penises and getting one of them cut off. Did we not?
Yeah. His girlfriend made him do it.
Right, because it was. It didn't work well and he couldn't do both holes at one time, which I thought would have been awesome if he could have.
He needed to find a new girlfriend, in my opinion.
Right?
Or two girls. I'd be like, hey, sorry, honey, you can't handle.
It's
dick.
Right. Instead of two girls fighting over one penis when they're both trying to, like, in the movies when the two girls are both trying to, they could each have their own. I mean,
exactly. And they both worked independently of each other.
Yeah, and they both got hard. That's kind of amazing. Well, in this case, here's another thing. It's also coincidentally, this is also from the southern United States. It's not Florida. It's not Florida, but it's from a state that the tip of Florida just goes a little bit into, and that's Alabama.
Alabama.
Right. So Alabama. Well, there is a woman, and this is a recent story, a woman in Alabama that has two uteruses.
Would that be uteri?
Yeah, well, possibly. She is pregnant with twins, and there's one in each womb.
Holy fuck.
1 in 50 million chance. 32-year-old woman with a rare pregnancy. Rare. Super rare? How about freaking crazy weird? So, so she is she's pregnant with twins in a double uterus. All I'm saying is this. She's going to have an interesting delivery.
Do they? I don't really know how the biology works and stuff, but could she go into labor with one uterus but not be in labor with the other one?
I don't know. I'm just like,
Like
what?
when the doctor's in there and the doctor, he or she is taking the baby out, what if the other one's not ready to be born yet?
That is true.
Well, I guess twins, they're probably
Yeah.
gestated to the point where they're both ready.
She does have 3 children already, and they were just born, quote, normally. But and apparently you are correct. The word is uteri, because the article says essentially the uteri are the size of one split in half. So they're both smaller, like the uteruses
Ooh.
are smaller.
So the baby's going to be tiny.
Yeah. So according to this is a condition known as uterus didelphys, Didelphs, and it affects about 0.3% of the population. So she's not the only one out there. There are at least a few double uterus women running around out there in the world.
Okay, so she's had 3 other babies prior to this within those uteri that she's had. So I wonder if her other kids are small as well. I just assume they're going to be small based off of the size of the uterus.
Probably. I'm just wondering. I just feel sorry for the sperm. I mean, the first one came along reading the map, and he's like, "Wait a second. It doesn't usually say left or right. It just usually goes go forward."
Well, most sperm probably don't, like, from their master, probably don't think a lot.
Well, no.
They're just fucking happy to be there.
They're just like egg. It's like ball for a dog, right?
Yeah,
egg,
right.
Egg. It's like Groot. They always turn around. I am Groot. Smurf. Got egg. Anyway, so anyway, this is hilarious. So she went into to get her an ultrasound at 8 weeks, and the tech was scanning everything, and it looked great. And the lady asked, "There's only one, right?" Because she didn't know she had twins.
Yeah.
She smiled and said yes. So I took a breath and relaxed. But then the tech told her, but then she told the tech, "I'm not sure if it's on my chart, but I do have a second uterus, just so you aren't alarmed."
Okay.
That is hilarious right there. Oh, by the way, I have a second uterus. So this tech scanned to find the other uterus. Within seconds, she said, "Oh my goodness, there's another one." And I was in utter shock. You think?
Oh, I wonder if imagine having twins in the one or triplets. I don't know. I think there's not infinite possibilities here, but there's quite a few possibilities. And I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to get into it. At least I was able to scientifically designate the word uteri as the correct terminology.
Well, I thought that was pretty cool that you did.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, I've used it for things that it doesn't qualify. Like if somebody is in a threesome with 2 girls and the one girl's like, "Hey, we want you to stick it in her anus." I'm like, "You mean your ani?" It doesn't work. It's anuses. I looked it up.
Could you actually have 2 turds coming out at the same time? That'd be messed up.
That would be messed up.
So apparently they're both girls. They're going to be fraternal twins because they're not identical, because it's 2 completely separate eggs and everything else. They just have different wombs instead of being in the same womb. And so I just thought, it's not like this lady has like the multiverse of uteruses,
True.
I mean, she doesn't have an infinite amount. That would be
not yet.
It's not like a bag of holding in D&D, you know. What's in there? A whole lot of sperm, because I was a hoe. That would be a surprise for a guy if he reached into a bag of holding in D&D. You reach into the bag and you come out and your hand is really sticky. And you wonder what this is. So you bring it to your lips to taste it, only to find out it's jizz. Interestingly enough, you know what jizz is.
Well, I mean, we've all kissed girls after they've done things to our wieners, correct?
Girls? Oh, I mean, yeah.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. We've all we've all been involved with members of sexuality.
Yes.
After they've touched our genitalia, and we know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go back for 4ths or 5ths, just sometimes, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You ever snowballed? So, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah. So out of all the stories we've told, that's definitely pretty weird. So you just said snowballed, and just for the listeners that don't know, what does Urban Dictionary say snowballed is? Snowballed is when a woman orally satisfies a man or a penis engendered person.
True.
And receives a beautiful gift from said person and then kisses you and puts it in your mouth.
And that, folks, is snowballing.
That is correct.
And now that we're on to Urban Dictionary, I have some stuff.
Awesome. I love that.
Don't you love the segue? It's fucking amazing, right?
I do. That was perfect.
Yeah. So I've got one here. What we do, this is a new sequence of, what do you call it?
A segment? Maybe?
A new segment.
A new segment.
That Charlie Ray fucking loves. Gets bored over this shit.
I do.
And he doesn't study Urban Dictionary, so all the definitions that he's given me come from his massively wonderful brain.
That's correct.
So this one is low tide. Low tide.
Low tide. I'm going to guess low tide is when a woman is not menstruating.
Ooh. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in this case, that is not the answer.
Don't shock me, Daddy.
All right. So low tide, it's in regards to pooping.
Okay.
A payload that is so large that a portion of it extends above the surface of the toilet water. Similar in concept to hidden rocks in an ocean bay, which, at low tide, protrude for all to see. And now I'm going to use it in a sentence.
That's hilarious.
That's right? Fucking brilliant. And in a sentence, man, don't go in there for a while. I dropped a mean one. Yeah, dude, low tide.
I've had a couple low tides in my life. It's not very often that something that prodigious comes out. But sometimes when you're having a freight train,
a Mississippi freight train or Tennessee freight train.
That's right. Although I have to say, we still don't know what sick bastard this was. Some dude. Okay, we've had 2 different disgusting incidences in our bathroom, the men's bathroom.
Like at work?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody blew it out their ass so hard that it looked like a crime scene and actually hit the walls.
What the fuck? Were they not even on the toilet?
They were on the toilet. Like I went in there because I had to pee.
Yeah.
The entire underside of the toilet, like the seat.
Yeah.
Like a nasty
it's
pudding
like
explosion. And it was on the wall. Okay, that was the second one. The
so
first
it went
one
through the crack of the toilet seat in the bowl?
It just went.
That's fucking amazing.
How the hell does that happen?
Okay,
don't know who did that.
Dude, you need to Urban Dictionary that. So after this show, you think of terminology and you upload it to Urban Dictionary. Anyway.
The second one, the first one that happened before this one happened, somebody took a crap and literally it was on the toilet seat, like a log. Like who the fuck is that sick? Okay, so we'll get back to the next one you got for me.
It's weird. You're talking about work dumps and work bathrooms. I'm going to talk about not like a work dump, but I'm going to talk about my work bathroom, which I've talked about this before, I think with Dora, but I think it's fucking weird. I think somebody used a whole bottle of WD-40 on the toilet paper dispenser, because even if I give it the slightest nudge to pull even like half a square, it empties like a third of the roll onto the ground. It just keeps going and going. I have to hold it with one hand, pull off what I need, and then tear it. Because if I give it a tug, no matter where the perforations are, it just keeps unrolling and unrolling, and it fucking pisses me off. Okay. And it's a new development in the last year. It never did it before.
So somebody got pissed they couldn't pull out a square and it's like, fuck this shit.
and then I also talked to Dora about it, how in summertime, like, you know how your junk hangs low because it's hot.
Yeah.
The water flow, I adjusted it now in the back of the tank, but I guess the water flow was too high that whenever I sat down to take a dump in the summertime, I was resting.
Get a little cool water.
I was washing these nuts in the toilet water, which is okay until you dump it, and then you're washing it in feces. So I just sitting there like look down, I was like, you gotta be shitting me right now. So yeah, I had to flush, adjust the thing. It's like, I can't do this. This is terrible. Anyway,
either fortunately or not fortunately, I've never had to worry about my balls hitting the water. So not yet. Don't worry, there is time.
Just come visit. Older. Come visit.
If I'm cold, they're not going to be falling low.
All right. Urban Dictionary number 2. caramel drizzle. Caramel
I'm
drizzle. Or
I'm gonna say
caramel drizzle, however you want to pronounce it.
yeah, caramel, caramel. I'm gonna say it involves somebody with diarrhea on a woman's chest. I don't know. Dribbling it out. That's disgusting, but I don't know.
You're like 50% right. So hold on. The act of ejaculating on a woman's face and then excreting diarrhea on it.
Oh God.
Dude, I hooked up with this chick last night and gave her a caramel drizzle.
Okay. I don't know about you, but anytime I've been worried about pooping and I had diarrhea, there's no way I'm going to be able to thrust.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. I call bullshit on that one, so to speak.
Oh, wait, are these supposed to be real? Okay. Oh shit, never mind. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
I mean, it's not like it's a what do they call it? A Stanley steamer or whatever, you know?
Cleveland steamer?
Yeah, Cleveland steamer, yeah.
Or an Alaskan pipeline?
Yeah.
Are you really shitting into a condom and freezing it? Are you really?
The Alaska freight train. Remember that one?
Are you ready for the third one?
Yes.
All right. Curbside slip and slide. Curbside slip and slide.
That is when you go to a place like Sonic, you get the car hop woman drunk, and you take her while she's wearing the roller skates like they used to wear in the old days.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. Unfortunately, Urban Dictionary disagrees with you.
Damn it!
So, Urban Dictionary states that a curbside slip and slide is when the next rest stop is 5 miles away, but you just can't make it. Therefore, you go outside and you leave an oddly viscous crap on the side of a highway.
Okay. I've never done that, but I've felt like it.
Jerry, Dad just left a curbside slip and slide at mile marker 15.
Oh, I have jumped out and just peed on the side of the road. In fact, I've peed in the middle of the road once. That was fun. I was on some deserted like back road somewhere and there was nowhere to really pull over. So I just stopped the car literally in the middle of the street, got out and just peed on the pavement while watching to make sure no cars popped over the hill down the way. Because I was like, when else am I going to be able to pee just in the middle of the street? So I did.
Speaking of peeing, I had a friend in high school that for some reason, I mean, we drank a lot of coffee because we went to the coffee house till like 4:00 in the morning, but he would go to my driveway and do a pee circle. So he'd stand at a middle point and just go around in a circle 360 degrees and pee. And he did it in the same spot every night for like months and months. And there was a fucking stain that never left. It rotted the pavement that was there.
That is messed up.
Yeah, it just stained it with its awesomeness, or probably with all of its bacterial shit that came out of his wiener.
Yeah. Well, a good thing he didn't decide to like spell a word out every time. That would have been hilarious. Like that would have been funny. That is pretty funny. So well,
on that note, hey, we've had a slice. Wait.
A slice. We've taken 2 slices.
Nice.
Yes.
2 slices is nice.
2 slices is nice. A steamer is not. But with that, I will say peace out, know-it-alls. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mr. Clay and Charlie Ray on Answers for Everything.
Peace out, know-it-alls.
I want to make sure that I am close enough. I should probably sit like a normal human so you can't hear me like rummage around the entire time.
I don't mind rummaging around. I like the sound. At least you know you're there. You know, it's like when your dad beats you. At least he knows you're alive.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know. My dad was never around. But
I was going to say, what would you rather have? Your dad beat you or not be a part of your life?
I think I'd rather have him be a part of my life and beat me. That way, at least I had a dad.
I don't know. That's not really a father, though.
He's the only father I ever knew.
Yeah.